Friday night. Figured I'd do another vlog, talk about what's going to happen this weekend, some stuff I'm working on, all that. So first off, I got a bunch of brushes from the House of Rags. So I got this little guy, which is kind of interesting. I got these in green, they're synthetic. I also have them in purple. I got the boar's hair version, which is sitting over here, and their tire brush as well. So get to play around with those a little bit. I have a Quiver foam cannon to test out, so I need to do that so that I can send it to Adamo, because it's technically his. He won a giveaway with Phoenix EOD, and I'm forwarding it to him because he lives in Canada, so I figure I'll play around with it while I'm here. I also picked this up. This is from House of Rags 2. It's a wheel brush that they came out with. And I got the new coating light from Nextled that was just sent to me. They offered to send me one, but I had already purchased it, so anyway. Pretty cool. So I've got it charging right now. It's really just a very diffused light for doing ceramic coatings. What else? Pad washer guard update. So I sent out invoices for 70 of 75, just because if I had one that was lost or broken or whatever, I wanted to be able to take care of that. So far, every single invoice has been paid for except for two. Two singular invoices have not been paid, but they've only been out for like 2 days or 3 days or something like that. So, so yeah, if you were expecting an invoice and didn't get one, go take a look. So I'm going to give it another couple days, and then I'll send out the last 5 to get to the 75 number that I originally ordered. So these are what's left. I have 2 that have to go out to Jeff C. And then the rest of these are, like, these 2 invoices are sent. And then Jamie and Ivan, I had to ship theirs, and then, you know, the rest. So anyway, everyone that is a customer has had theirs shipped that has paid, with the exception of Jeff C. He's the only person that I haven't shipped, and it's because he just paid. So I will get his out to him shortly. So there you can see the boxes. Those have to go out to UPS tomorrow, and they are the, like I said, the last of them. So everybody's been getting a bottle of Stay Strong in the box, at least since I received the Stay Strong on Wednesday. So I've got a whole pile of it here, so you can see. I did put some into gallons, so these are going to be the ones that I keep for myself. So I've got 3 gallons of Stay Strong here, and then the rest I'm just gonna, I don't know, gonna strategically give away. It might come up in a podcast, it might come up in a live, it might come up in a, I don't know, just some random day that I'm feeling generous. You might get a bottle or a box of Stay Strong. So I gave away a box the other day during a live stream or a podcast or something along those lines. Speaking of podcasts, it looks like I'm going to be on one on the House of Rags on April 7th. So that's a Monday. So check that out. If you know who's on Monday, then you'll know whose podcast I'm going to be on. It hasn't been announced yet, so I'll let the presenter announce it, his or herself. So then other stuff. So this all has to go to Adamo. Working on some eBay stuff this weekend. I think I'm going to take the green Mini out. It needs to be cleaned. It needs to be washed. It's just dusty. I haven't driven it in a while. I don't know. We've had a lot of like rain and stuff like that off and on, and our roads kind of deteriorate in the rain, and then we end up with like a bunch of rock chips and stuff, and this car's super clean, so I just don't want to ruin it. So we'll probably take this out this weekend. We'll wash it, clean it up, all that kind of stuff. I did the ceramic coating on that Equinox. I did a couple videos on Garage Therapy, testing out their products, and really enjoyed them. And then I kind of got down to a time crunch where I only had a little bit of time to get the coating done, so I just worked through it. I do have 1 or 2 more videos that were recorded during that car that I do need to drop. There's one on Zvizzer. I also didn't test out Piar. That was on my list to use on that car as well. But like I said, it was one of those things where like he dropped it off at like 10:30 and he wanted to pick it up at like 4:15, 4:30. So I was just trying to get it done and coated before then. And I was working on some other things, and then I you know, ended up kind of stuck for time at the very end there. So I can talk about Armor's coating though. Armor's Pro coating, which I used for the first time to do that car, was actually very good. It's a high solid coating and it cures very quickly. It was really one of the first coatings that I've ever had to use multiple applicators, like that I was forced to use multiple applicators without taking a long break. And what I mean by that is eventually the coating will solidify on your applicator and you end up having to swap it out for another one. So if you're going to do Armor's Pro coating, I would recommend that you have multiple applicators. Honestly, it was a good coating. It went on very well, it had excellent slickness and gloss. I don't know that it has as much gloss as Hydro, but it definitely seems very, very stout. It was easy to apply. It worked very well. I had a 30 ml bottle. I spilled a little bit of it accidentally, but I actually was able to do the entire car with it without an issue. I did Armor's glass coating on the windows and windshield. That went on fine. We'll see how it holds up, but you know, it worked well and it did its thing. And then I did the wheels with Fine Lab wheel, and I think that that's going to be pretty stout as well. Fine Lab wheel is a little stinky when you're applying it. It's a little bit more chemically than your average coating, but it went on well. It was easy to wipe off, easy to level, flashed quickly. You know, I've got like excellent weather. You know, it's like 70 degrees and like decent humidity, and it's just like I live in an ideal climate for really any detailing. I had an excellent experience with those products and that car. It went very well and I was able to burn through it pretty quickly. Some other things that I've got going on. I approved an invoice today to move my garage door up towards the ceiling. So I'll record a video on this probably if the installer people are okay with me doing it. But let's talk about that really quick. Let me just shut this garage door. What I want to do here, if you could see, I switched to a jack shaft garage door opener maybe 2 years ago, and I might do it on that side too at some point, but there really isn't like an impetus for me to do that. It's just, if that garage door fails or starts giving me problems, then I will do a jack shaft to replace it and remove the whole center rail section. What I like about the jack shaft opener is that, like I just said, it removes this whole center rail section, right? There's nothing there. You don't have to deal with the rails, you don't have to deal with the opener, all of that kind of stuff. Even the light. The light needs to be there for the Wi-Fi to function, for the unit to do the like wireless control through the app. It's really because that's the beeper, and also it like flashes as like a visible thing that this is going to open or close. But truly, like, it doesn't need to be there. I could take this light and I could stick it in the attic and plug it in and it would be totally fine. It has no idea where the light actually is. So interesting thought, right? So this whole section is now open and I've got my, my spring on the back wall and I've got my opener right there. And that all works really well. Everything is tied up, wired, all good to go. Pretty happy with the whole installation. So what I really want to do is I want to do what they would call a high lift garage door, which means that this comes up to the top and goes along the ceiling. And I want to do that for a couple of reasons. Number one, it gives me more height when I'm using my lift or when I'm working on a car. So right now my garage door is at 7 feet, as you can see. So when it's all the way open, my garage door is like right here, which is kind of in line with the hood of a car. And when it's all the way open, you know, you can hit it with things, and it's also kind of right over your head. Like my rear gate on the Mercedes will open up and actually rub against it. Like if I close the garage door, open the garage door with that open, it would hit it, right? Doing that is going to move these rails up, which gets them kind of out of the way. It makes the top of this cabinet a little bit more usable. I want to mount these speakers up high. So I'm gonna mount a speaker kind of up here behind all of my rinseless stuff, and I'm gonna mount a speaker up here above the lithium, just kind of off to the side, like where they are, but flipped on their side and up there. And I already have the mounts for them. The last thing is, this being up high means that it actually comes out less far, right? So if we think about this, the garage door is 7 feet long from the bottom all the way to the top. And the bottom of the door needs to be here for the opening to be clear. Well, if it goes up and over versus just going over, it'll actually be closer to that wall when it's all the way up, which makes the edge of this light a lot more usable. So when this garage door is fully open, I'll actually have less of the light blocked. It'll be a little bit easier, like if I've got a hood open here and I'm working on a car, those types of things, to have better lighting. I like having the garage door open when I'm working on cars because I live in a really good climate. It's nice to have the airflow. It knocks down the echo. It's just nicer all the way around. So, I wanted to do a high lift opener. But a traditional high lift kit, you're looking at like $2,000 to $3,000 to take a door like this and convert it to high lift in most scenarios. So usually what you would do is you would take the spring off the wall, you would move it all the way up to the ceiling, you'd move the opener up to the ceiling as well, you would extend all of this bracketry up, you'd have to then repair and repaint the wall and all of the stuff, and this is a textured wall, so it's a pain to do. And then you would have different tracks that would go up and be modified and go across the ceiling. Well, I talked to my garage door installer people, the ones that actually replaced the spring on this a couple years ago. And I just said, hey, is there a way to do this without having to redo the whole thing? Like, can we just step this out a little bit, get up towards the ceiling and do another turn and not move the garage door, not move the spring, not move all of the stuff? And he said, yes, there is a way to do that. So that's what we're going to do. It's going to cost me about $800. And what they're going to do is they're going to custom make tracks that are going to come off of this at something like, I don't know, maybe a 22-degree angle, something like where my hand is right there, and go up towards the ceiling and then do the rest up there. The rails will still end there, but they'll be significantly higher. And then we can cut off the bottom of these rails and not have to worry about any of that. It's going to make my light more usable. It's going to make it feel less claustrophobic when the door is all the way open and you're standing under it trying to work. And it's just going to give me a lot more height. If I want to take an SUV and lift it up using my quick jacks, I don't have to worry about the door needing to be closed. I don't have to worry about not being able to open the door. That's another simple thing too. Like if I take the Mercedes and I put it up on the quick jacks right here, I have to have that door closed. And if somebody opens that door, it'll hit the car. So, I don't have a ton of room for working here. And I want to just improve that a little bit. Now that we own the house, I think it's a good idea to do it. Now, will I do it in my small bay? No, I really don't see a reason to. The small bay is fine. I only park cars over there. I don't work on cars over there. On this side, what I will probably do, like I mentioned, is at some point, I'll start having problems with the garage door opener. The spring will break or the motor will get weak or something will happen. And at that point, I will get another one of those jack shaft openers, the Genie, just like what I have, and I'll put that one over there. Genie I've been super happy with. I know a lot of people do LiftMaster. I like the Genie's app better. Aladdin works really well. I've used the MyQ app, which is what LiftMaster uses, and I honestly think it blows, just being fair. Now, I haven't lived with it in a long time. I set it up for a couple customers, for gate controllers and different things like that, and it was very clunky at best. I didn't really enjoy it. The Genie app I find is very simple. It works very well. The Genies are compatible with our cars and all of our stuff, and they're wireless. So the controller that's on the back wall there is actually wireless. So when I get rid of that garage door opener over there, I will go down to one controller that has two buttons. This will be one door, this will be the other door. Nice and simple. This just has a battery in it. I've changed the battery once in 2 years. The light changes from a blue to a red when the battery is going dead, and it notifies you in the app. So that's really all of that. Probably 2 weeks out, I'm guessing, is when that's going to happen. And then once that happens, like I said, I'm going to mount the speakers. I have the speaker mounts up there, as you can see. So we'll work through some of that stuff together. I mentioned I pick up another Yeti bucket. I sold the OG buckets. A follower emailed me about them and is excited about it. Eddie got a purple Yeti bucket, like a lilac color, and I drop shipped him a couple of those 4-inch wheels because I think that he's going to appreciate them on his Swiss tracks quite a bit. So I hope he does. So yeah, I mean, that's, I think pretty much it. The tank has been awesome. The pressure washer has been awesome. Everything is super solid here. I'm really excited about all of it. I think tomorrow I'm going to clean these out. It's been a year, more than a year since I've replaced the carbon filters. I don't really need them, honestly. Like, the carbon filters could honestly go away. It has them. They're not that expensive, so I generally just swap them out once a year or so. Well, I take that back. I mean, I've had this system for like 4 years, and I think those are the second set of filters that have been in it, so maybe a little bit longer than that. This has been really solid. I picked one of these up. This is like a flow meter, so I'm going to play around with this. It measures gallons per minute, so I'm thinking it could be used for like pressure washer testing and stuff. I really enjoyed using the DIY polishers on the Equinox. I do think I'm going to sell them. I think that they're fantastic units, honestly. I really do. The balance is excellent. But I had somebody offer me almost what I paid for them. And I've got other polishers that are going to be coming. We've got the ShyMade is coming out with their new 3-inch Merca clone, as I'm calling it. We're also going to have the new Liquid Elements polisher, and I know Matt is working on a 5-inch Merca and a 1-inch Merca. So there's going to be a bunch more polishers that are going to come through my garage. And I just don't need, I don't need to keep things once I've tested them, is what I'm finding as time goes on. 7. Right now I have 7 polishers, and I have 3 cars and all of them are clean. So I don't need 7 polishers. I'm going to knock that down a little bit. I did sell my Detail Co. 6/21 as well. Got a good deal on that. I think he got a good deal and I got a good deal. I bought it at a pretty steep discount during like a Black Friday sale. But I only used it like 2 or 3 times to do a couple videos. And again, that thing was excellent too. Great power, excellent cord management, like just really, really good unit. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to continue working through Garage Therapy this weekend, spending some more time with them. I have Yum had a 1-day sale on House of Rags, so I have the rest of Yum coming. I had most of their products. I think I was missing like 7, so I have the rest coming. So we'll play around with them eventually. And then, yeah, like I mentioned, Carzilla sent me a bunch of Bola stuff to try out as well. So I'll probably buy more Bola and then do a video on all of that together. And then I'm working on getting more Geon products. I've got a couple Ethos things that are on their way to me. So, there's more products coming in than there are going out, but I'm trying to burn through some of those. So I think that's all. Tomorrow we're gonna get up. We're gonna run to UPS, ship a couple boxes. I've got some yard work to do. I picked up 50 bags of mulch the other day, 2 cubic foot bags. So occasionally, like once or twice a year, I'll rent a trailer to do something. In this case, it was to pick up a pallet of Stay Strong. And if I have a trailer rental for the day, it's usually like $30 to rent a trailer from U-Haul. Then I tend to do other things with it as well, like go and pick up a load of mulch or take stuff to the dump or something like that. So in this case, I went to Lowe's and mulch was on sale for $2 a bag, so I picked up 50 of them. So I still have 30 of them in my front yard. So I got to move all those into the back and start spreading them and do all of that. The rest of it, the other 20, I already spread in the front in the last 2 days. So yeah, that's it. Just checking in. Appreciate you guys. I get more and more subscribers every day. I still can't believe that people watch what is essentially my life, So I really appreciate it. Appreciate the support. I appreciate all the people that have bought the pad washers, who paid for the pad washers. I was worried that I was going to get stuck with some of these, especially when I increased the order from 50 to 75 and then to 95. So I have 95 of them on order right now. But I have like 86 people, or 86, I have like 86 of them spoken for, meaning people emailed me and said that they want them. And then I've sent out 70 or invoices for 70, and 68 of those have been paid for. So that's pretty awesome. So I'm sure the last 2 will get paid, and if not, then I'll just go on to the next people. And then like somebody posted in the DIY Detail channel on Facebook. So there's more people that are emailing me following that, and it seems like it's blowing up a little bit. And I didn't really expect that, but It's super cool. I'll get more of them if you guys keep wanting more of them. I don't want to get stuck with a bunch, but you know, if I've got an order out there right now for 20 that they're making. If I end up having more people that want them than 20 before they arrive, then I'll reach out to them and see about increasing that order again too, or I'll just place another order for another 20 after those get here. You know, it seems like if I order 20, 25, like I can keep the price pretty similar to what I've been charging everybody. So I think that creates a win-win. So anyway, that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. And if you're not subscribed and you want to, that'd be awesome. And yeah, also these shirts, some people have asked about shirts. So there's a link down below to TeePublic, and you can go on TeePublic and you can order shirts or hoodies or whatever you want to. And they'll be made by them and shipped directly to you. I have a handful of these red and green shirts that I originally ordered. They are the OG, like the Obsessed Garage shirts, the original Obsessed Garage shirts. They're an LA Apparel 50/50. They're a good length. They fit very well. I only have extra small, small, medium, and large left. I have a couple of each color in each size. So if you're interested in one, let me know and I'll cut you a smoking deal on them. I've had a box in my office now for a year or two, and I had a website and I had them sitting on the website, but I only sold a handful on there, and I was paying money for a website that I wasn't really using, so I just kind of shut that down the other day. So if you're interested in some shirts, let me know. You know, happy to help. And if you're not interested in shirts, and that's cool too. I never thought that somebody would be walking around wearing my brand, but there have been some orders on TeePublic, and there have been some things that have shown up, and people have sent me pictures, and like, that's, again, super cool. Never thought that I would see that, but I have. So, yeah, I think that's it. Enough rambling for today. Have a great day.